Today we've got two special guests. One of my old teammates and Man United legend Wayne Rooney, just spoke to me on his way, and Marcus Rashford, the current Man United number 10.
I remember just thinking, I'm ready. That's what I thought.
I don't know, everything was still overwhelming. Like, I didn't feel like I trained with them a few times, but I didn't feel like I belonged there yet.
I had to rip it because my neck wouldn't fit in the shirt. That's the only reason I ripped the shirt.
Welcome to Between the Lines, guys. I'm here with Manchester United's greats from present, the past, sorry Wayne, it's the past, it's true. So listen, when's the last time you guys see each other?
When I had the testimonial game for England, when I went back and played against the USA. I remember speaking to Marcus back then about little details of this game. And then since then, obviously, you can see he's kicked on. So great to play with him when you're playing with a young lad. It's great to see that.
So when we were at United, what was the first thing that drew you to Marcus as a young kid?
Come from nowhere, really, and then...
I think was Will Keane injured?
There's loads of things. Will Keane was injured. Martial was injured. Ashley Fletcher was on loan. So there was just loads of injuries.
But Marcus' story from getting in the first team, I actually used it a couple of weeks ago, because we've had injuries at Derby, and I put a few of the young lads on the bench who hadn't even trained with us. So I used Marcus' story from that, saying Marcus come in really from nowhere, didn't really train with us, come in, made an impact, and look what he's gone on to from that. So for them players to try and follow in them footsteps when you get a chance, it's up to you then to take it, and he's certainly done them. No, definitely. Just rewinding back, I remember when we was in a training, we used to go to the training ground and we'd all eat in the same canteen. First team, young lads, schoolboys, you used to come in. I remember used to see you in your school uniform, baggy school uniform, baggy blazer down to your knees.
I was like this
big.
Yeah,
he was only small. You did stand out for me. Although you were small, you had an assuredness about you. You weren't too shy and you weren't too cocky. There was just a calmness about you, and I used to ask people, what's he like? He's got a talent. You used to play wide a lot then, didn't you? As a young kid. I remember seeing you play, and to see you get in the first team as a striker, I was like, wow, okay, let's watch this guy. What was it like coming into the canteen, sitting around someone like your hero and all the other players that you'd looked up to, and how important is that to be able to be around them at that young age?
Yeah, I think just like little things, like they always teach you to be like respectful the whole way through the academy. Like if you see the staff, shake their hands, say morning, say bye when you're leaving. Stuff like that, and that's like over in our building, and then for us to get the chance to go over to your building and then just watch you guys just do what you always do, and it just shows even if you do manage to reach the top level, you don't change you know what makes you and yeah, it's just reminders really, never to forget that.
Is that what you've tried to carry on now as you're one of the senior players, even though you are still quite young, but to continue that type
I think it's important, like, although no one ever really speaks about it, like they're the fundamentals of what I class as like the tradition of the club, and what's always, I don't know, it's just always been there. There's obviously things that have changed, but at the same time, if I do get a chance to speak to the academy players, then I just always tell them the things that they're learning there, just keep them with you, because it's what makes you and what makes the player that you're going to become. Oh, that's good. And you mentioned a word there, tradition, and everyone talks about it the Man United way. What to you would say is the Man United way for you?
Yeah, I think the first thing is hard work. I think, you know, I remember, I think it was similar age to Marcus when I made my debut for Manchester United at 18. Being from Liverpool, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I had to find a way to make sure I win the fans over, and the first way to do that is by working hard. And I think I carried that out throughout my whole career. You'd have good games, bad games, but there's no excuse for not working hard. And I think the manager really drove that into us, into all the players, about your work ethic. For the lads in the dressing room, Guy Neville, Scholes, yourself, some of the older lads who you take your everyday way of life from them, because they've learnt it from the manager, and you just try and carry that on, that tradition, being, as Marcus said, being respectful, chatting to all the staff around the training ground, but ultimately, when it comes to match day, making sure you're doing the best for the team, for the city, for the fans, because If you don't do that, you'll get found out very quickly.
Yeah, it's true. Yourself, Marcus?
Yeah, I think it's probably the same message for me, and just to express yourself, but expressing yourself kind of just comes into one. I think if you want to go on to the pitch and enjoy yourself, you have to work hard. Like, if you come off the pitch knowing that you've not worked as hard as you could have, you've not really enjoyed yourself out there, and probably not played your best football. So yeah, for me, they've always said to me just to express myself and play as freely as I can with the other things like tracking back and stuff like that. Make sure you do that, but at the same time, go and enjoy yourself, go and score goals, go and do skills, assists. Just be happy on the pitch.
Right, let's go back to the United way. Listen, we're going to start with you, Marcus, and your goals. I want to highlight this person here, who is Marcus. And what I love about this is it's just about, this is a race now. It's identifying the space and the area, and you see it, you've identified it straight away, and then it's a foot race. But you see that early. Do you notice exactly as the ball gets cleared? Yeah. What are you doing? Are you scanning the pitch or what? Yeah,
I just seen it was J-Mo on this side. So I was knackered. I think it's right at the end.
So 91st minute?
Yeah. So I just put my head down and just ran as fast as I could. Because they was all going towards the ball. It was only him really that could catch me on the far side. But the rest of them too, I can just see him trying to stop him. But I knew that they weren't going to catch him, so I just had to get into the
desire to get through. Look at your head down. What are you thinking here? If you don't make that run, this ball doesn't come. It's not an easy ball. A bit fortunate at the end, but you make your own luck, don't you? Yeah. This one I love. This is my favourite. What are you thinking now? Let's see, Bruno's on the ball. Yeah. He's facing this way. He can't even see you. He's obviously had a look there. You can see he's having a look. What are you thinking here? Is it if there's someone else on the ball, do you move?
No, probably not. To be honest, there's a few players that we have in our team that even if they've not seen you or heard you, you roughly know where each other are, and I think for me, Bruno's brought that to the team, and the more of that we have, the more runs that I can make.
It's a beautiful ball. I was at this game. I'd done this game. Would you have loved to play with Bruno there for them type of balls there, was I?
Yeah, I think he's brought so much to this United team. I think he's a player which I felt he needed to come in. I think what we're seeing of recent games as well is I think him and Paul Pogba are forming a good understanding which is only going to benefit the likes of Marcus, Anthony Martial, Cavani. You'd have two players behind you who can play passes. Sometimes the best form of communication is eye contact. And you can see the look at each other, and you can actually talk to each other through your eyes. And without Marcus's run, the pass doesn't come. So
is that instinct as well, that run?
Yeah, I think it's you have to believe in yourself and fancy yourself in a foot race, which Marcus is as quick as anyone. So it's a great pass and great composure.
I was screaming, I was here.
Great goal.
I was behind that goal. I was screaming when it went in. I was just going nuts because the way he's sitting people down there. Right, let's go to our area now. See, most players there, I think, are going here to Carras and then looking for hopefully one of these boys to be running on for the next ball. Yeah, but what are you thinking here? What do you want here, Wazza?
I think I've got my body in the perfect place because I can feel the centre back behind me. I can see obviously the Arsenal players in front of me there. I know if I just wait the pass into the space for Nani through onto, with Nani's speed, we're getting a very good opportunity to score.
And as you're talking of that, it's a great ball, bit of skill. Then this is what I love. If you just keep your eye on this, it's the same exactly what we showed before of Marcus. Such a similar trait in understanding space and desire then to get up and past people. The intentions are clearly there for all to see.
Look at that. Look, that's getting cliche. I think people didn't realise how quick I was. I think I was quicker than people.
I always used to say it to people. I say Wazza's rapid.
But I think them 2 seasons, with the 2 seasons I played as number 9 on my own, I played there in and out in different games, but I played there the whole season for them 2 years, and I actually didn't enjoy the game as much.
We spoke, remember that? We come back to pre-season, I remember speaking to you and you was going, I'm going to go and speak to the manager to play as number 10, and I'm sitting there going, but you scored 30 odd goals this season, was I? Yeah, but I'm not enjoying my football, and I couldn't get around my head.
Yeah, I've always been a player who wants to get involved in the game, and it is something, I think it's something which Marcus will learn over the next few years. It took me 7, 8 years to actually be able to play that, to learn to play with your back to goal. It's the hardest position to play. You've got big centre backs coming through the back here. You're on your own, but I think to play that, the biggest thing I had to learn was patience and learn to play off 2 touch, play the ball out wide and get in the box. I weren't really enjoying it, but I was having my best. It was my best two years of scoring. So I remember coming off the pitch, like scoring 2 goals, and thinking, I didn't really play well today. I didn't have that many touches of the ball.
But weren't you like the players today? You see them there a lot about stats. I've got amount of goals, assists. You're adding up the numbers? Are you not thinking that I'm flying? I've got 2 goals. That's all that matters, really.
All that matters to me was the trophies we won. I think you've seen it. I've never been a selfish player. I've never worried about breaking record. I broke the England record and Man United record because I had time. I had time to do it. It weren't because I was the best number 9 or I was the best goal scorer. I had the time to do it. So I've always been about the team, about winning trophies with the team. If individual awards come, great, take them, but it's not the most important thing to me.
Let's move on to the striker, and we've got the winger section there as well, and this is about Marcus. Who is Marcus Rashford in that sense?
A little bit in the middle.
This is you through the middle. This is what, when you first got in the team, this is what I thought Man United were crying out for as well. You got someone who can come short to the ball, like yourself, Wazza, someone like that. But then you had that running behind defenders completely. Like naturally, it just looked so natural from a young player who we thought played wide most of the time to be able to identify a space like this. I just thought, wow, this kid's going to score a ridiculous amount of goals. Do you enjoy playing there through as a 9?
Just anywhere across that front line, if the defence wants to play high, it's
beautiful.
I remember that game, that Chelsea game. I think I was on the bench or I was. Marcus kept me out of the team. No, but I remember that game. We played the back 6.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, Jose put Marcus up top on his own, and I was thinking, unless he runs in behind, the Chelsea, David Luiz, they had experienced players. I was thinking, if he comes to feet, we're in trouble.
Yeah, the first ball I took the first ball and David Luiz went straight for the back of me. Really? So I just literally got in between them and just kept running in behind. Do
you tell the midfielders or the players on the pitch, listen, don't play to feet now, play behind?
No, because I don't like...
You don't show for it?
Yeah, like, if I come towards you, I'm going. Like, I'm going in behind.
And that's something you speak about with the players before?
I think it's just something that midfielders should know, like, double movements like that. Like, if I come towards you first, I don't want the ball there.
You were a bit like that as well, weren't you?
I was always quite good at reading the game. And that's what I was saying before about learning that patience. It does take a long time to be able to do that. But I always felt if I was struggling, I felt a bit isolated within the game, whether that's from out wide, whether that's from a striker, number 10 position. I'd always try and occupy a different position, which is causing the opposition problems. But what we had good rotation. We had Tevez, Lewis Hart, Ronaldo, Jason Park. Great players who we interchange positions a lot and caused teams problems, which I think it's good. We had that freedom, but what we had beyond that is if I ended up in the right wing position, I defended from there.
In the modern game, is there as much freedom as that flexibility to be able to interchange positions?
I think that's when we play our best football. Like under Jose, I'd say everything was a bit like you play there, you play there, you play there, and it's you can do a job. But it was difficult for me to play my best football.
Just want to finish up on your passing as well, because I think that's a key part of both your games, is that you could actually create as well. We're talking off air about your passes to me for one of my many goals, but your passing is something I think that's probably undervalued in both of you, in that you can create from different areas of the pitch. This was ridiculous. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
The run. Does the run tell you what to do there, Wazza?
It does, but I think before that, me and Robin used to speak a lot. Robin, our kids went to the same school, used to speak a lot. Even at the school gates, we were talking about playing together, and he was obviously more of a number 9 than I was. and then I was playing a bit deeper, and sometimes I was playing centre midfield, and I watched Robin, the relationship he had with Fabregas, and I felt I certainly had the capability of playing balls the way Fabregas could. So I said, when I get it, make sure you look for runs, running behind, I'll look for you, I'll find you. And that goal, I think it might have been the second or third goal in the game, and we won the league on that night. So
it all come together.
Yeah, it was the perfect goal. It's arguably one of the best goals in the club's history.
This was a big game for you, Marcus, wasn't it, as well? FA Cup against Liverpool. This is a ridiculous pass. Again, is it the run that's telling you where to play the ball there?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's something that we're still developing on and getting better. Like me and Mace, when he's got the ball on the opposite side, for us to try and be a striker, basically. It's something that Ollie's been working on us with, and you know, I feel like the more that we play together, the better we'll get at it. But definitely when it comes off, it looks
beautiful.
On the pitch, it feels like a simple goal, really, because everyone's come on one side. Like, just switch the play.
I was going to say, does it actually feel that simple when you're out there playing in them creative areas that something comes off like that you look at and we're trying to dissect and you think, wow, it's so difficult, it's intricate? Or for you, is it just like, this is just what I do?
It's like, I don't know, I feel like if I was to get the pass wrong, I'd be fuming with myself. Like, I feel like in training, you wouldn't get the pass wrong. If you had to do it 10 times, you wouldn't get one wrong. So it's just about like concentrating on, because at the end of it, it's like quite a simple goal that I see it as.
I think the difference it makes when you've got an attacking player who can actually play balls through and be creative in terms of the passing is, if Marcus was just about his speed or just about getting in the box, when he gets the ball a bit deeper, if as a fullback they could say, okay, we can give ourselves a couple of yards because he's not really going to hurt us with the ball. But when you're able to do that, the defender then has to think, I can't give him space to get his head up to pick passes off, to get closer, and then that allows the player to spin in behind. So just by having that awareness and the ability to make the pass, it actually creates more options for you on a personal note. Yeah,
defenders, we have to think more. Right, I'm going to take you now back, guys, to your debuts in Europe. Wayne, we'll start with you. Just talk me through this night, the atmosphere, what it meant for you.
I remember just thinking, I'm ready. That's what I thought. I'd come off the back of Euro 2004, I'd done well. You see the rip in my shirt there.
You rip that, yeah.
I had to rip it because my neck wouldn't fit in the shirt. That's the only reason I ripped the shirt. I spoke to the manager the weekend before this. We played Middlesbrough. I was desperate to be on the bench, and he said, just wait, you're going to start against Fenerbahce in the Champions League. And then I remember just thinking, I can't wait. I'm ready. I was confident, believed I was going to score. Did I think I'd score 3? No.
Was there any nerves?
Nerves, yeah. I think the big thing for me is going to play for Manchester United, being a Scouser. You're thinking, I have to impress. Somehow I have to leave an impact on the game and get the fans to like me.
So talk me through this finish, man. Left foot.
I seen the keeper coming out, thinking I would just get height on it to get it above him.
Was you at this game with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was you sat for this game?
Like, not the Stretford end on the right-hand side, but high up.
What are you thinking, Rooney, first goal, coming in the club?
When you're that high up, you get to see movements from a mile off. Like,
is that what you'd watch as a kid, the movements?
Yeah, I would. So I used to stand on my chair, because there was no one behind us, so I just used to stand on the actual chair and then just watch down, and like, you can see like the tactical side of football that at United they just let you enjoy yourself. Like you never get grilled about being in this position, do that. But watching the first team play, and like for me watching forwards play.
This is the hat-trick, the third goal. Can I just say, Stretford end, yeah? Giggsy, about 700 appearances at this point, 4 of them around the ball, and you come in, debut, 18 years old and take the free kick.
Yeah.
What's the conversation there?
There wasn't really a conversation. I said, Giggsy, I'm taking it. I fancied it. It was in a great position for me, and I've always had that bit of cheekiness about me where if you want something, you've got to go and take it. I had to let them know I was taking it. Where's the match ball? Have you got it? Yeah, I've got it at home, yeah. No, it was a great night for me to score me hat-trick on my debut in the Champions League. I remember after the game, I went back to the Old Edge Hotel where I was staying at the time with Colleen. And then it was really then when I sat down, I was thinking, what's just happened? I knew that was the start of something big for me.
What a debut. Let's move on to Marcus. Your time came on the 25th of February, 2016.
Yeah.
What do you remember about this night?
Similar to what you said, I was ready that night. And I've spoke about it before, but my first time on the bench was Watford. I weren't ready to play. Like,
Why?
I don't know, everything was still overwhelming. Like, I didn't feel like I trained with them a few times, but I didn't feel like I belonged there yet. But yeah, like the difference from, I think it was in November the first time, to now, like in my head, that's all that changed.
Is there fear? Like, you're on the bench against Middlesbrough, are you fearful if you're not, look how young you look, have you got tattoos yet?
No.
Wow.
I don't have anything.
Was you fearful when you was on the bench, worried about coming on because you didn't feel ready?
I don't know. I've not had that feeling like before. That was the first time I'd ever had it. I remember someone, I think one of the midfielders, there was a few of us on the bench. I think Gossy was on the bench, Sean Goss. One of them, might have been Basti, got injured. And then, like, I was already like in my head, like, I'm not ready to play. And then I'm looking at him, that's his position and that, and his head's gone and that. So I think he was going through like a similar thing.
It's mad as a kid.
But yeah, this game I felt like I was.
You felt ready.
Yeah.
I like these 2 goals, man. That's a number 9 poacher goal.
No matter how they go in, it's the same feeling. So yeah, I take tap-ins all day long.
Is that Dean Henderson there, isn't it? Everyone spoke about that. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Is that where the youth team was sitting them times then?
Yeah, that time, yeah.
How important was it to celebrate with like the people that you'd come through with?
Yeah, for me it's like, I don't know, like...
Did you mean to go there?
I just seen familiar faces, like, not only there, just behind the goal. I seen people that I knew and stuff. Like, so as I'm celebrating, it was a weird experience.
But how important is that? Is that a massive thing for you?
Yeah, it's togetherness, isn't it? It's what the club's... Like, I think United's always been a family club, like.
This is a debut, I love it. Fearless.
I literally just stood still on that goal. I seen everyone like rushing towards the ball, I just stood still.
That's instinct, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've either got it or you haven't.
The hardest part of the game.
What, to stand still?
I say to my players now, the hardest part of football is to stand still and slow yourself down. Which the top players can do, but it's a very difficult thing to learn.
He said to me at half-time, Bangal, you're running too much.
Did he?
Yeah. He said, stay between the width of the 6-yard box and you'll score.
And you did?
Yeah, in the second half.
So Wayne, just to finish off, if you had 1 or 2 pieces of advice, knowing what you've done in your career, top goal scorer in history for England and Manchester United, what bit of advice would that be for someone like Marcus, who's on a great track at the moment to catch that record?
Yeah, I think, listen, first of all, I hope he does. As I've said, the same with Harry Kane at England. Records there to be broken. So I hope the 2 of them get to them records. But I think the advice I'd give him is just to keep learning, keep working hard. That's all you do. He's going to have bad days in training. He's going to have bad days on the pitch. Get over it, move on from it, because they're going to happen. They happen to every player. And when you're in them bad moments, keep it simple. Simplify your game and you get through it quicker. I think, and most importantly, keep enjoying it. Enjoying scoring goals, enjoying playing. And I think we haven't touched on it as well. I think what's important for Marcus as well is, I haven't seen him, I spoke publicly on it, but I think all the stuff he's doing off the pitch is a real credit to him and his family. I think it's making a big difference, so it's something you should be proud of and know that a lot of people, not just in the game but outside of the game, appreciate what he's been doing.
Yeah, I definitely echo that as well. And for you, Marcus, 87 goals so far in a Man United shirt. Is this man's record something that you're looking at?
No, like everyone else speaks about it, but for me, like it's just. I just have to take one game at a time and just do as well as I can for the team. And it's about silverware. Like, no one's really been as happy as we was since we won probably the Europa League, because you know, since then we've got to finals and semi-finals, and we keep getting beat, like, and it's frustrating as a player. But each year, your personal things get put to one side because you want to achieve the team things so bad. So yeah, you don't. To be honest, I don't really think about it. It's just about, you know, if I can score to help the team, then yeah. But if it's an assist that helps the team, then it's an assist.
Well, just the last thing, and before we go, we just look at your, because we can't go here without looking at your stats, and you talk about improving. And I think if you look at these stats here, this is what I love, is that your goal involvements have just gone up. We haven't even finished this season here yet, and they're going up and up and up. And I think that's just a credit to what you're about and what Wayne's saying there in terms of learning and improving every year. Yes, silverware you want, but you've got to improve as an individual. And I think that there suggests that you definitely are on the right track and keep it going. So listen, guys, I want to thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you. Silverware, we'll be cheering. And good luck with you in management, man.
Cheers, man.
Nice to see you.